Hello, friends in Cancer. How are you? Sun, Moon, Rising. Cancer, cross watching. Month of September, Virgo season. Happy Cancer. Happy. I hope you're happy, all of you. Wishing you the best in all things, always. From this little YouTube channel. If you want to know more, check out the subscribe button or all the various buttons that will help you interact here more. But what we're here is to achieve a goal of reading tarot cards for the sign of Cancer for the months of September 2020. I'm going to go ahead and put the mic down, shuffle your cards up a little bit. And back to the popular demand, we're going to be doing some longer readings. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see what the cards have for you in store this month for Virgo season. Cancer, it's off the cuff, scars and all, right? It's a loving energy. It's a loving time. The throes of passion. It's a good time for our Cancer friends. It's a good feeling surrounding you guys this month about getting together, being romantic, and in fully enjoying and living in enjoyment. So that's good. That's interesting. Let's see what the cards have to say. I'll shuffle them up. We'll go ahead and cut them and see what's going on for you guys this month. All right, let's see. First off the top of the deck, we've got an Ace of Wands reversed. Okay, so this is the query. This is the question card. How can I express and apply my spiritual self while maintaining the nuts and bolts of the nitty gritty of the real life? That's what this card. This is like full blown inspirational, new creative expression, right? This is about how do we balance it. It's okay. It won't be that difficult, but some of you might be like having questions about what stones to uncover, which places to turn, which places to look. If you're bored with something, if you're looking at something, maybe you've just turned a corner on a project or some kind of thing that you're doing, and you're like, I don't know if I'm behind it anymore. I don't know if I can prioritize it anymore, or whatever the case may be, whether it's like, or just putting it off. You know it's a labor of love, but it's still like too labor intensive, and you'd rather be in the ooey gooey goodness of Cancer this month. Maybe you're into other people and some of the things that you used to do for yourself. And for some of you, this is a balance of independence, about time sharing and things of that nature. But it is about that balance. Look at that. What's helping you or hindering you this month is the Five of Pentacles. So about invested time, and it's about invested money. You know, like I said, which stone do we look under? What's best to invest in? What can we do with our time and our resources that are going to help us achieve that balance of, keeping our head above water, making the most of opportunity when it presents itself, all while maintaining the final goal of like, it has to be something you back, has to be something that you're completely in love with. And for those of you Cancers that are here for relationship reasons, you can look at that in regards to your other person and in regards to time. If you're feeling like there's been a lack of growth or a lack of fulfillment in your relationships at any time, Cancer, it might be a strong time to look back at where you hoped it would be, where you are today, and what that it is maybe unfulfilled was just an old expectation that you could put to rest, and just like with a simple twist of thinking, just put it behind you. Because the Five of Pentacles is very much about like, what we think about, we bring about. And if we're worried about, things like feeling alienated from maybe your partner on the inside, like you don't feel connected or close to them, or it could be a group of people or work, or feeling alienated in that, it seems like other people are living by like a different set of rules or anything like that. Just, we can't be giving our power, we can't be shelling it out like that. So if you get caught up in the turmoil of the mind saying like, oh, these people are running around having so much fun and I'm here stuck in the mud, I have to work, and that kind of thing, you're really being asked, you're really being encouraged to like look for silver linings and to stop wasting time with situations that you've been down those roads before, and you know where they end up, because it's not that you're blaming yourself, but the subconscious mind is coming back and saying, look, because you might have expected too much, or you might have weighed what you have against what other people have, it can never turn out right. It can never be good. And that's what it's issuing as like the challenge for this month. So in the grounding, feel Page of Wands. Feel confident and secure in the process. This is about trusting Spirit's ability and to provide for you, even when you feel like maybe you are having to divide or make some sort of difference between what you do in the world and how you truly want to express, how you truly feel. It doesn't feel grounded. So make sure you're taking a certain amount of time each and every day for you to express and to like really ground it. If you can be your unbridled self, for an hour or two through the conscious mind, you can do it while you're running errands. You can do it. You can turn off the TV and you can do it through the work of your own two hands and your third eye and your creative part of the brain. This is going to be a confidence building, boosting time, especially when Jupiter goes direct later on into the month. But it's nice because Virgo is about taking stock and about recognizing that opportunity that there is for more because you've created the space. And for you, this is like a space of confidence. If you're looking to attract things and manifest, and the universe is evaluating you and saying, okay, well, are you ready to receive it? Are you at home to get the package, or are you the best receptacle to pour the blessing into? This is about your confidence level, because without the self-confidence, it's very hard for you to receive it. Even though you've brought it right to your doorstep, it makes it very difficult for you to receive it. And feel confident in your relationships, Cancer. If it's there, it feels good, don't question it. Don't second guess it. Don't be like, hey, I didn't do anything to deserve this. This is above and beyond. Accept the blessings in their fullness and know that you're worthy of them. Okay, feel deep down inside that you're worthy of them. Don't push people or things away based on the fact that, you feel like you can't adapt, or that maybe it wasn't meant for you. And again, don't let me tell you what to do, Cancer, but I see this being a simple issue of confidence, right? Mulling things over in the mind too much, like when a certain situation occurs or may have occurred in the past, just in the last little while, and you bring it to bed with you each and every night, and you think about it too much. You think about it to the point where it's like, it's not helping you fall asleep, but when you try and think your way through the solution, it's not providing you with an out. It's not providing you with a way, with like a permanent solution. So what the cards are indicating so far is that due to what's happened in the past, this thing that's causing you to lose all the sleep, Cancer, you definitely need just a simple twist in thinking about it. Place yourself on the outside of the situation for a minute. Imagine all these things that happened to you were happening to a good friend. What would you say to that good friend? How would you tell them to, especially, but I know that's hard. That's way easier said than done, because it's you. But if you can try that little exercise to put yourself on the outside and remain less affected for even just a few minutes, you're going to help be still the heart. You're going to help calm the mind down, and you're going to help to see like it wasn't your fault. It wasn't anything that you were doing. We're all always progressing. Even the people in your relationships, whether it seems like they're regressing, they're still in some ways progressing. And if it's about like a togetherness, being together with somebody, or a space that's come between two people, which I see like doorways that are being like perceived to be shut, or too much space in between, looking to write down those feelings, looking to close out some of those past relationships, okay? And the liberation, the freedom. What did we say off the top of the reading? This is a good time for you to be in the throes of passion, just to forget it all of the mind, almost like follow the heart, follow the libido if it wants it, follow it to any areas that are not like the same old, like, you gotta break the ceiling, get out of the box, get out of the routine, the 24-hour clock that guides you to these specific spaces in these specific times. The Fool knows how to do it. The Fool knows how to have a real adventure. I'm not saying go do anything crazy or follow anyone down into a dark alley or anything, but it is important for us to have a certain amount of novelty and newness in our life. And if we are following the same mindset that leads us to the same places each and every day, it goes back to this telling the universe, like, no, I don't need that thing I asked for, because I'm just happening the same way every day. And I don't see you guys really being unhappy here this month. and this is good. And things are only going to get better for you. I'm just here for the select few people that always come for those nuggets of healing and the things that you don't always want to hear, but you know that you're facing on the day-to-day of the mind. And the mental temperance of the future is you're going to find that balance between overthinking your relationships, over analyzing situations and people even, and just be like almost like that, you become the flow itself. And it's a nice place where you can resonate or you can vibrate with the temperance of being, especially in your personal relationships. You can show people a lot by remaining emotionally unaffected, even just through the simple things of the commonalities of the speech. Maybe you hang out with that group of friends and all they talk about is they bitch about this and they bitch about that and they hate on this and they hate on that, and you're like, well, you know what you think about, you bring about. And Cancer, you could be helping a lot of people here this month by remaining more unaffected. Don't be apathetic to the situations or have a lack of empathy, but at the same time, don't become emotionally charged in things that have not yet happened yet, or things that go back to like it's simply an idea or an ideology. Because if you can show people balance and stability through this time as one of the more like emotional and gooey sides of the relationship, you're going to allow people to feel a lot more comfortable and a lot more willing. And I see people opening up around you coming up through this Virgo season. They're gonna, there's people out there that are trying to attract you to them, right? And you may find yourself in new situations, again, back to this novelty, where you may meet somebody new, you may become involved with somebody new. And when this happens, this is about not leaping ahead, not jumping both feet in, just being like one day at a time with this, almost like Romantics Anonymous. You just want to go and remain unaffected and accept, like, this is the amazing journey I've been through so far. This is where it leads me today. And this is all that it's taught me. And I'm able to remain in temperance as a result of that. Okay? Because what we're looking at here is like, perhaps sometimes you might second guess yourself or have apprehension or subtle fears about being too open, being that bug that is willing to get squashed. But that bug that's willing to get squashed is usually the bug that doesn't get squashed. It's usually the one that's running away. And I don't mean to compare you to a bug, or to bug you too much, but look at what I'm saying. If you have apprehension, if you feel societal or group pressure, because not everybody can be a Cancer, to like put up walls, put up boundaries, but it feels like it doesn't feel right, the Seven of Wands reverse is saying then don't do it. Remain an open source of love. Remain an open source, an open door, an open reference for other people in your life to know, like, this is how, a true Cancer engages with their emotions. They let it all hang out, twist and shout, right? Whatever it might be, and you can express it. You can reject out of your world anything that you don't want, and you can also let in anything that you do want. And it's not that you have to build a brick wall up and then act as like the supreme filter for everything that's coming in and out. You just do it more so as the flow, right? You can enter and exit it freely. It doesn't have to be this long process of like, okay, I'm going to go into it, I'm going to break down, and then I can let it happen to me, and then I can react after the fact. You let that water shower over you gently, as much as it makes you feel comfortable. If you get too cold or too hot, you step out of the river, you step out of the shower, and you appreciate it for what it was. But the Seven of Wands reverse is like, you guys are feeling the love this month. You guys, it goes back to this. It's a good time for you to be in the thralls of passion, to be wrapped up in the honeymoon phases of relationship. If you're meeting people, to just go full carefree and to see what happens. It's almost as if you take a great risk and it comes from a place in the heart. Okay, going back to this, what's helping you or hindering you card at the very center of your reading. If you take a big risk, but the risk comes fully from the heart, okay? We can't go on conditioned fear of feelings of being hurt in the past, because that will cause us to set up for another knockback. But when we're willing to take those risks from the heart, and feel fully confident that come for better or for worse or whatever it might be, that the wealth of the experience itself is enough for the Cancer to thrive on it. It's enough for the Cancer to be feeling more complete, and knowing that, I enjoyed all of the particular memories, all of the particular moments that came along with it. Okay, so perhaps some of you are apprehensive to accept an invitation. I feel people are trying to attract you in, and you're like feeling you like a little bit reserved to maybe give that person a second chance or go on that second date or whatever it means, being quick to, well, they didn't text me back, and it's been a day, so therefore I'm just going to shut it down. I'm just going to push it away. I just don't want to deal with it anymore. No. It's get in the flow. You want to remain nice and grounded, but willing to jump back into the flow, into the river at any point in time. But with this like this, it just shows that, maybe a conversation for you. Maybe you're struggling to get things off on the very, very first step. For some of you, it'll be like, well, how do I get to a place where I can actually meet somebody for things to turn ooey gooey and passionate and good, right? Well, this is all about the word, the voice, the sound, the confidence. It might come through a lot of text these days, but it's still the same old thing. There's no need to be afraid. Say what's on your mind. Say what's on your heart, and say how you feel. And when you see a person, a profile, a picture, or whatever, something you want to engage with, something you want to reach out and see if it's energetically matched with you, then do it. Because the fear of it not matching with you, it's not worth not taking that risk, I guess, is what I'm trying to drive home for you this month. Because there's going to be these opportunities for new people to be coming in, for you to actually go new directions and start trying new things. And as that comes out, anytime you refuse that this month, you're going back to a place of subtle apprehension and subtle fear, being like, I would rather be in my comfort bubble. I would rather to have not loved at all than to have loved and lost, and these kinds of things. Because I understand, Cancer, it goes deep. Past conditioning, past hurt, the old relationships that fell apart that still you equate back to and you think back on, rather than putting your mind in an optimistic future. You set it sort of as a passage of time, and you're like, well, I'll either be lucky or I won't. And you kind of still tend to remain on that defensive. And that's okay. But yeah, 7s and 8s reversed. You see that? Well, that 7 was upright, but we'd had 7, 8, 7, 8 up the Hermetic staff here. And this 8 of Pentacles, again, reversed, being like, you know what? If you're always being the one to listen first and then talk, right? You feel that advantage of being able to do that, or sought after. I want someone to text me to let me know they're thinking about me before I go out and reach out to that person. Be that person. Get to work on those very first steps. If you want it, take that first step. If it doesn't come back, it's not because there's anything wrong with you or you have to think anything less of you. It was only because it wasn't meant for you at this time. But everything is in a constant state of flux, and everything is kind of awaiting there for you, Cancer, to be like, all right, do I have what it takes to receive it? Do I have what it takes? Right? And I don't want you to be hard on yourself or to overthink this kind of stuff, right? It's all about a feeling, a confidence level, it's like a Bold and the Brave type thing. Not the soap opera, but the Bold and the Brave Cancer, right? The rich rewards of passion, romance, all that stuff, right? And even inspiration, even turning this Querent card. How do we begin this new relationship, this new autobiography, this new book, this new painting? It always begins with the first paintbrush, the first swipe of the paintbrush, or the journey begins with the very first step. And usually it's that step out of the routine, out of the comfort bubble. That's the hardest to do. And once you do it, you start to see immediate results, Cancer, and you're always so amazing and aware of this situation. Let's just check and see what's at the bottom of the deck for you. We're progressing through the upper wands. We've got Nine of Wands here, yeah. So this is the environment. Feeling a little bit standoffish, a little bit like, I want to wait and see what happens before I get involved here. I'm saying to heck with that. You're tired of being there. You've been there for a long time, Of course, some nights are better than others when you put that thing behind you, but you're looking at how to make the best of the time that you're given, right? It's the same. The wand she's holding is the Ace of Wands. How do we find that balance of creative expression versus the nitty-gritty of the everyday? We're afraid to express from the heart, take the risk of expressing from the spiritual level because, these are the people at the AM, PM, or these are the people at, the local community event center. What would they think? What are they going to say? Even if it's just an emotional thing, or even if it's more of a spiritual thing, people, whether they know it or not, or whether they're too shook to acknowledge it or not, are craving authentic forms of spiritual expression from the people around them so it can rub off on them. And what I'm saying for you, Cancer, is you have a delightful opportunity this month to become that person, because the greater test of the universe is being like, Cancer, are you going to be able to handle this? You have the potential to give back here. You have the potential to make great things and create great things for yourself when you really start expressing from the inner world, because that begins to shape and change all of the things that are out there, which is your imagination anyways. But at the end of the day, you can see people, the joy that you get from bringing a smile on another person's face. It's not selfish to enjoy that or whatever, or say that it was you, but reach into that deep down place. And I feel if you can take that first step out of that comfort bubble this month, there's going to be great things for you coming, especially as Jupiter begins to highlight all of the amazing sort of end paths or end goals to all the things that you've started and then you left there, or all the things that you kind of were about to turn the corner on. You're like, nah, this is taking too long, forget it. Or nah, this isn't quite working out the way I originally expected, forget it. Because we hold to that, what we originally expected, or what the future goal that we set up with, that also needs to remain in the constant state of flux, or we'll always experience this thing of overachieving or being let down. So I'm saying if we let go of that, Cancer. Anyways, I'll stop preaching. I'll get off my soapbox. But yeah, I wish you all the best this September. Infinite love, infinite blessings. Thanks for all your support. That's why yours is out first this month from last month. Leave a comment. Let me know if you were inspired, if this reading resonated for you or not. And yeah, we'll see you again really soon.